I've written a lot of things over the years, and this is a piece of a story that I wrote back in 2008, and I wrote it with a friend of mine. But this is the writing that I put down, and this is just like a portion of it, like a plot, and I have another version that's much more in detail, like storyline. But I was reading it the other day, and I'm going to share. The beings on this planet understood the meaning of life and the connection of all things. They were able to feel the energy in each other, and they were able to feel the energy of other worlds. There were positive worlds and there were negative worlds. You could only travel back from worlds that were positive because it took the energy of that power to activate the porthole. Traveling to many planets, and their favorite planet was filled with unicorns, mermaids, and much more magical creatures. They learned many things from these creatures, and they told them of a time that they were on a planet and how they returned to their home planet just in time of the portal closing. They said the people and creatures on this planet became greedy, petty, and dishonest. With them changing from positive to negative, the planets on the porthole had to close. They said they could feel the energy and had to return. It was an overwhelming urge. There were those that stayed, and it was their choice. The girls loved the story and the adventure of what they went through, and they knew at one time the beings on the planet were positive, and they had the knowledge of what was going on, being positive and living in love. They felt the risk would be worth it to help heal the planet and return home with another story of another land. Because they'd never traveled to a place they couldn't return, they had never felt that energy around them. They couldn't predict what would happen or what they would feel. On their planet, looking at the portholes, they could feel the energy of the surface, but not internally. Both of them were strong, and they thought they could travel there and give the people the knowledge of understanding. Giving them this knowledge they thought would be enough, because feeling good was so easy for them, and they didn't anticipate how hard it would be to help others understand the potential of what they were capable of feeling and doing. They truly felt optimistic, and they felt like they'd be able to come back and didn't think it would take very long. See, on their planet, they were able to project their energy and heal without real effort. Because the girls felt so positive and confident about going, their family and friends felt the same way. They said, "See you later," and they went through. Each had a bag with some clothes, water for healing with a glass jar with a silver stopper on top, some seeds from various plants that have the ability to cleanse within the body and spirit. They also brought a sack of stones. Stones have a vibration that can change the surface of what they're on. The energy ripples out like a lake. It penetrates on whatever it touches. When the stones are together, they amplify. Their energy increases their power. Each stone has a different vibration and purpose. They walked through the porthole and fell right to the ground, and turned around without seeing any trace of the place they came from, and they started to see their energy disappearing around them. They no longer could hear music that they amplified, and the feeling of their thoughts were disappearing. On this planet, because of how bogged down the emotions of the people are, they choose not to feel pure, healing, loving energy. Therefore, they could not recognize it. They don't truly understand what it is or the purpose of it, and they turn away because it feels so foreign. They don't know what it is or how to be conscious of it. People on this planet worship many different gods, but they fought and hated each other. Plus, they had no real concept of internal spirit, even compared their gods to one another, looking at differences instead of similarities. When it came to social situations, people disregarded each other and found awkward joy in this. The energy of this planet overpowered the positive energy the girls were used to feeling. They were unable to project the energy they had, and they no longer felt the deep energy within themselves. They were no longer able to project their emotions, and this made them feel things that they've never felt before. Lying on the other planet wasn't even considered because people could see the effects. They understood what happened internally and externally, and they took it seriously. On this planet, lying came out without any acknowledgement of wrongdoing. When the girls arrived on the planet, they were in the basement of an old building, a fairly large city. When they stood up and started evaluating the situation to see what was going on, they realized where they were and started looking for a way out. They found a door that was in the ceiling, and they talked about what they wanted to do, what was going on, and decided to take a look around. When they got outside, they started walking around. Within a short time, they saw people yelling at each other. They saw people kissing each other, and then they were able to see beyond. Both were sleeping with other people, and on the side, without any remorse or guilt. They were overwhelmed. They were almost tripping over each other. They were so shocked and floored they had to go somewhere and think. They saw a patch of trees that was in a park and went and sat down. Every negative act was felt and penetrated the soul. They'd never felt a spiritual beating before. The two talked about what they felt. They could not see the colors or hear music anymore, and they could barely feel what each other were feeling. Within that conversation, becoming conscious of their thoughts helped them build a healthy resistance. They had to learn how to rely on the brain to communicate with the people on the planet within the spiritual place. They never had to solely rely on the brain. The experience was frustrating and overwhelming. Every moment that they were there, every action that was shown to them helped them understand how to help the people on the planet. Every experience helped them gain understanding of how to feel, communicate, and relate to other people. When being put in a place that had such a different feeling and understanding what of the meaning of life is, they had to learn. Before coming to this place, they'd never felt emotions they were feeling. They had no way of anticipating how emotionally straining it would be, and they had no way of safeguarding themselves because they were unable to foresee what would happen, which was strange to them. They were able to foresee feelings and actions on their planet. When looking at the portal, they weren't feeling what they were feeling but because the body had never experienced anything that extreme in that negative way before. The trees and plants could feel the energy of the two girls, and they started giving their energy to the girls. See, the plants and trees on the planet could give healing energy to anyone that was open to receive it. The girls sat there and meditated with the plants. The trees and plants helped the girls have strength to talk to people, because the girls knew how to heal and absorb energy. They were able to come to the woods and regenerate. The realization of this was encouraging to the girls. Knowing they would have to talk and feel energy of the people, they figured out a plan to help them give the knowledge of understanding. It goes on and on and on, but it's a beautiful story. I'm going to write it all out one day, but I just want to share this with you.